I want to work with someone that feels confident enough to say, I don't know right now, but I'm going to find out.
And I'm going to get to know you, and we're going to figure out what works for you and your business. And that's so important to me. So
how do we empower team to want more, to be educated enough to rise, and for us to trust them and lead them?
Yes, you should have your core values, right? However, it's all about learning your people and what works best for them.
Hey there, my little biz besties. Welcome back to In Good Company, where real entrepreneurs share real growth stories. Thanks for liking and subscribing to my channel. Let's get into it.
So you were a hairstylist.
I was a hairstylist.
Like recently, or when did you start doing that?
It's 2025. About 5 years ago.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I feel like it's crazy it's been that long, but also it does feel like a whole chapter ago. So it also makes sense.
Yeah, you were a different person.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you have gray hair.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
thank you so much.
It's very
There
very
are perks to that previous life, right?
Yes, you learn. I also was a hairstylist many moons ago.
Okay.
And
I didn't know that. That's new.
Yes,
okay.
I was. And so it's like when you're a hairstylist, you're so ingrained in the education, the products, the different techniques that come about. Your hair is not normally phenomenal when you're a hairstylist because you always...
You're trying
last.
all the things.
Like,
yes.
I put my hair through some crazy times. But then after you have all these like things you remember, and now that you're not in it every day, you're like, oh, I'm going to try it on me now. I can take care of me now.
There you go. There you go.
So,
I love it.
I love the curls. Curls is a big, it was always, I have to find a hairstylist that can cut curly hair.
Yeah.
Did you hear that a bajillion times?
Oh my gosh, yes. Actually, I think it encouraged me to start wearing my hair curly because I've always had curly hair, but I didn't wear it that way.
Yeah.
And then when people had curl and they came to me and it was such a thing, like they were like, I need someone to teach me this.
Yeah.
I thought, wait, maybe I should start doing the same thing, right? Like, so if I learn my curls, I can help other people with their curls better. And then I got so good at it that I wore my hair that way every single day. And I was like, oh, this was a journey. Like, okay.
Yeah,
and then I was able to help other people so much better.
Yes. And people seeing you with your curls, I'm sure there was this like comfort of, oh, she really does know curly hair because look at her hair.
Yes.
So you were like,
I do
leading.
think so. Yeah.
Leading by
I think
example.
I understood it to a certain extent when I didn't wear it that way, but I agree. Like when people see it, it's like, oh, familiar. So you must know what you're doing. Right. Like it's just normal.
You were probably still learning. Every time a new product came out, you're like, maybe I'll try this.
Well, and also that's what I would always tell my clients. I'm like, no curly hair is the same. So even though you like want a curly hair person, everybody's curly hair is different. So I'm like, every client that brought a different version of curl, we learned their version.
Yes. And I think there's something about leading by example in any profession. So people want to work with people that, oh, well, they're living it. They must be really good at it. And sometimes it's true. And sometimes it's like, no, we're all just trying to figure it out. And so with hair's a big one. I go to a hairstylist that, she looks cool. You know what I mean? Her energy is cool. She's got super dark hair and tattoos and like gauges. So there's vibe. Like, it is. Yes. And there's a part of me that it's like, well, my hair is different than hers, but I want to be around this person.
Sure.
I want to be in her sphere. And I think there's something to that because I know being a hairstylist is a whole vibe. You got to have a whole personality, attract certain people. But what you're doing now, I wonder if pieces of that carried into what you're doing now.
Yeah, I love, like, I could like hear things you were saying in that transition, and I was like, oh, this is good. This is good.
Yes.
Well, and like leading by example.
Yes.
So I totally think so. And what instantly hit me when you said that is I have always been very like, if I have not experienced it or I don't understand it or I'm not willing to do it,
right,
I'm not going to sell it or encourage it to someone else.
Okay.
Like that's always just been a me thing.
Sure.
Doesn't mean it's for everybody, but that's a me thing. Like I have lived experience with everything that I've like done or talked about
Right.
or share with other people. And that for me is like to my core. It's just always been a thing.
I love that because what you're doing. So, which, I am going to pretend like I don't know, but I have heard, I don't want to call it an elevator speech, but I have heard your pitch.
Sure.
I think that when you're working with a coach, when you're working with a consultant, personally, I wouldn't want to work with someone that's like, never experienced hard things. Things came easy for me.
Right.
And I educated myself. And of course, you want educated people. And then things just worked out. To me, I'd be like, I don't relate at all. Do you feel that in like the coaching space, or what do you think about working with someone that is open, which is scary as an owner, being open about things that didn't work, vulnerabilities, hardships? Do you think there's a benefit to that?
Oh, definitely.
Especially today when people want to hear
yes.
the tea.
And again, it really is like the like reason I do what I do. Like, I'm like, okay, I genuinely believe that these experiences were given to me, sent to me, like came to me for me to learn the things that I've learned and then help other people through their versions of that. And nobody's story is the same, right? So I can't ever say like, I've been in this exact same position, but it's pretty crazy to me how many things do at least relate to each other.
Sure.
Or how in the world have I experienced so many things in this period of life that I've lived in that I'm like, okay, I got to do something with that, right? Like if I have, let me like use that.
Right.
And it has changed my life. And so I'm like, well, let me share that with other people and do anything that I can for them to feel like they're able to get the most out of whatever it is they want out of life, you know?
I love that.
So for me, it just feels like, it does feel very much like my purpose, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I love that too, because purposes change. And sometimes I think people get bogged down when things don't work out. I know when I was a hairstylist, I did like weddings, event hair. And there were so many times that I kicked myself when we moved. I didn't change my license to Kentucky. It was in Georgia. And I thought, well, when I was in hair, I felt like that's my purpose. I love working with people. I love making people feel beautiful. Like there is so much joy around a wedding. There's so much happiness around prom and homecoming. And when I shifted, I thought, well, I'm just ignoring my purpose. But sometimes people have to remember your purpose changes. And the purpose might not be what you thought it was. I thought it was making people feel good. But it was really helping people was the purpose. So take me back. You said 5 years ago.
Yes.
How did your purpose change? What happened that it's such a shift, which I get wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
But I love hearing how this shift happened.
Sure.
5 years ago, there was a big event.
Sure.
So,
oh yeah. I always say that like, because I am such a problem solver and I am such a like, I can power through, right? That the universe has to like hit me over the head with things for me to see what I really need to see.
Of course, it has to like punch you in the throat and tell you to move on.
Yes. And then I'm like, oh, heard. Okay, got it. So, I had this 13-year career in the hair industry. Loved every bit of it. And it was like, it genuinely felt like my purpose, right? Like I was like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. I'm here forever.
I'm in it.
And what was really cool about that journey, just a little sidebar, is that I did hair, but I was actually working with a company that also had a product line, a distribution company, and a whole education base as well.
Nice.
And so through that, I was able to do a ton of educating for our own team. So I was the director of the space and a co-owner. So I was every day leading a team.
Yes.
And helping people develop and like find their biggest potential in hair.
Yeah.
And then also I was able to share my experiences as a director of a business with other salon owners to help them do that as well. So
learning some
it was like this evolving purpose, right?
Yes.
Like hair is what led me to find all these other things that I really loved within that industry.
Love it.
And so that evolved, and I really did discover that I like helping people. Like, just like you said,
Yes.
like I like
At the
helping
core.
people at the core.
Yeah.
And hair was the vehicle for that at first. And then I learned new skills
Yep.
and had new life experiences. So
Yes.
then I developed more ways to help people. Right?
And you're filling your cup every single class that you
Yes.
led and learning these skills. Okay.
Yes. And like watching people get it or even feel confident to try it. Like those sorts of things were just like,
That's it.
yes. Like, you know, I'm
so
like,
excited. Yes, you learned and you did the thing. Like you just feel like a mama's so proud of their kid every time.
Yes, every
that.
single time. So that became such a thing for me. And yeah, I was able to do that in that industry, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it was one of those things that I had a mentor turned business partner, which is a really interesting relationship to navigate. And I am so grateful for that experience.
Yeah.
But I think what ended up happening is I learned so much and I grew so much and like I developed more of like who I am and my values probably shifted. And so what ended up happening is it started to feel a little misaligned. And I was like, whoa, this has always felt like
This is it.
perfect.
Yeah.
And so when I started to feel the misalignment, I didn't know what to do.
Well, yeah, because you didn't expect that to happen.
I was like, what's happening?
Now what? Someone tell me what to do. You used to be my mentor and you would tell me what to do.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh boy, okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And it's really hard to lead a team and lead other people when you feel misaligned.
Oh, for sure.
Like that is a really difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I feel like that misalignment just like all came to a space of me being like, okay, there's something here. Like maybe this isn't my forever.
Yeah.
And what's crazy but also really cool is like my intuition just knew that I needed to take space from that. And it was a massive, massive decision to make. And probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. Like I mean,
you're choosing a different path.
Yeah. And that had become my whole identity. I worked there from the time I was 20. You know, like it literally
there.
was everything.
Yeah, that's where you grew up. That was your family. That was everything you knew.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. So, and also I moved to Louisville to work there. So, but no family here. And actually like I had built everything there, right? Like, of course. Yeah. So anyway, I was like, I don't even know Louisville without this being my space.
This is it.
So yeah, but I just knew. And I'm really grateful for my intuition and like knowing when I need to listen to that. And so I knew. And even though I knew, I was like devastated to make the decision.
Well, yeah.
You know, like it was like,
it wasn't easy.
yeah.
Your
Devastated.
gut doesn't say, hey, let me give you the easy decision.
Yeah.
You know, your intuition and your gut. It's like,
Yes.
girl,
Yes.
it's going to be a little hard for a while.
Yes.
Oh,
And timing is interesting, right? So 5 years ago was like right when all the COVID shutdown and everything was happening. And so what was cool about that, it was really hard because for the first time in my life, I wasn't like working a ton.
what do you do?
And but also what was really cool is I needed that time to really grieve leaving behind everything that I had known.
It gave you it forced you
Yes.
to take space for that.
Yes. And at the time that felt like I didn't like it, right? Like I was like, I want to work. What's next? I'm like, I'm ready to go. Right. But actually, again, the universe was like, actually,
Slow down.
not yet.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm not kidding you. I took, a long time, longer than I would have ever expected to feel through all of that, grieve all of that, and then also have like my whole healing and like next level learning journey to be able to know what I wanted to do next.
Right.
And so yeah, it was really cool to have that experience looking back. When I was in it,
We're
didn't
in
feel
it.
like it.
We
right?
hate this.
Yes.
We are grinders. We work, 24/7. This is our identity. We're like proud of it.
Yes.
Like, I'm a hustler. Like, I'm a girl boss. But then the pandemic forced so many people to slow down.
Right.
Which, weird thing to say, that's a beautiful thing.
Right. Like blessing in disguise, right?
Seriously.
Like,
and you can look back now and say that, but when you're in it, you're like, when is everything going to be normal?
Right.
And that was scary.
Yes.
I think the pandemic allowed people to spend time with themselves they never would have gotten. And for some people, that's the most terrifying thing you can do. But other people, opportunities are like, hey, we've been knocking and now we're ready.
Exactly.
So, love it.
So,
love that.
So yeah, I just had that experience of like really diving into myself, a little bit more of a spiritual journey, like all these things that I didn't know I needed because I thought I knew. And then I was like, actually, here's a whole bunch more things to do.
I know nothing, actually. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
But all of those things then I think helped me even further prepare for like helping other people in their leadership because I now had a whole nother level of personal journey that I hadn't experienced before.
Right.
So, and it's stuff that I really pull from when I'm helping other people on their journeys.
Yeah. And you said everyone's journey is different.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the pandemic forcing you to slow down, you started educating yourself. You said, what kind of education, what kind of resources, what was the path that you chose? And how did you know that was the thing to do? Was it just, this feels good? Or were you like really thinking about what you're good at? There's so many people in this transition phase. And I'm sure that's where they're like, hey, Lindsay, let's be friends.
Yeah.
But some people think, how do I know? Where do I start?
Right.
How do I pick myself up and move past this thing I thought was my forever?
Yeah. I feel like there are probably a lot of like mini paths that like came together, right? Like I didn't know, and I didn't do one specific thing, but what I did know, because I had previous trauma, of like I had been divorced before. I had lost my mom in a tragic car accident. So like I had been through things that felt really hard.
Sure.
And so I think if anything, I was like, I can go through hard things.
Check.
I know this. And so what does this one require of me? And so really I did a lot of like internal reflection. So like, okay, what do I need to learn about what just ended? Like I always am really big on that. Like, what do I need to learn from all of that experience? So a lot of learning, and then a lot of like, what do I still love though? Like, what do I still love, and what makes me feel the most alive? And a lot of that. I literally, I think I bought like 3 different like self-reflection type books. I was like I'm a little bit obsessed with like self-awareness, self-reflection. Yeah. And so I was like, that I'd like go to a coffee shop and just sit and like
coffee with me, learning about me. Yes. No, that's so important.
It was so funny, but it was so important. Yeah. And then when I started to feel like I had like, okay, I've like processed a lot of things. Sure. Then it was actually really cool. So a friend of mine was like going to a therapist, and I had not really ever had a like full therapist experience. Okay. I had like talked to therapists here and there about some things. Yeah. And when she was telling me about it, I was like, wait, I need to go talk to someone about what I've discovered. And what was cool about that is I feel like I had always been people's person to talk to.
Yes.
Right. Because I was like the leader. And so people would always come to me and I would like help them. And then I was like, oh, I can't just figure out my own stuff. Like I actually should go talk to someone else. And I know that sounds so silly, but it was like this light bulb that I was like, someone else. That would be a great idea. What do you know?
It's crazy because you've been the one that's been holding people's feelings and emotions, people's, the venting sessions, the what should I do moments. And you, when you needed that, you went to books, and they don't talk back.
Right.
They don't validate or question. And that's easy to talk to someone that doesn't question you or make you second guess anything or reflect. But you said, I actually think I need that.
Yes.
And sometimes you don't find that in your immediate circle because you've been the person.
That's exactly right.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah. And I have like these amazing people that like will listen and everything like that. But the role is just different, right?
Yeah.
Like we all kind of fit a role within our like circle or our friends or whatever.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think because of that, it was like,
I've created a monster.
Oh.
Like I'm not the person.
right. I was like, so, of course, like universally aligned, I like literally pulled up a website and started like looking at bios, and I was like, her, I want to go to her.
Awesome.
You know,
Yeah.
love my intuition for that.
Yes.
Showed up thinking that I was going to talk about like my next career move. Like, let's figure out what my next career is going to be. I'm ready.
Shocking. You came in with an itinerary.
Oh, yeah.
You were like,
Of course.
I'd like to tell you what we're going to go over.
I'm going to lead this situation. Okay. You're
But I
just
need
here
your
for
help.
it.
Yeah. Shocking.
Glad you picked that up. Glad you picked that up. And it was really cool actually, because she had done a lot of like developing her own systems, of course, for how she helped people.
Okay.
And I promise you, within like 10 or 15 minutes, she said, okay, Lindsay, but let's talk about like spiritually. And I like looked at her and I was like, wasn't on the list.
Yeah.
Like wasn't on the list. Also, I never talk about that.
Yeah.
And that actually hadn't been a big part of my life. And so I was like,
How dare you ask a question that needs to be asked?
I was like, yeah, but also was
The
like, this is
audacity.
my person.
Yes.
Like it was like instantly
Yeah.
I knew. I mean, I felt that gut punch, but then I felt like that, I'm in the right place.
I'm here. Mm-hmm.
Yes. It was the coolest moment. I literally have goosebumps
Yeah,
right now
I just-
because
just
it
thinking
was
about
the
it.
coolest moment
Yeah.
for me. And I'm not kidding you. That's what we focused on for
Of
the
course.
next like couple months, honestly. She
Right.
taught me how to meditate. She taught me like breathing techniques. She taught me all these things that, you know, they weren't the tools that I needed in my life previously.
Right.
However, they were the tools that were so valuable for me then, right? And now I'm like, I survived without meditation. Excuse me?
Right.
Like, how
Who
did that
was
even
I?
happen?
Yeah. The seasons change.
Yes. And what was cool is doing all of those things, it made what I needed to do next so obvious. Because then I was really like connected.
Yeah.
And I was really in touch with like my intuition, and I listened to my body and not just think everything through. And I was
terrifying.
like, right. And I was like, whoa. And so it was like, through that, like we sat down one day and she was like, so I think you know what you want to do. And I was like, can I do that though? And she's like, of course you can. You know, I mean, it was so cool. And then it just became so clear.
Yeah. But you mentioned before you met this like queen, obviously.
Yes.
You did a lot of like reflection. You were writing in books and coffee shops and taking time to connect with yourself in a different way. With the old Lindsay, you were doing the tools and the things you already knew how to do.
Right.
It wasn't until you really sat down and looked inside to get to know your new self that things became clearer. Yes. And so someone else had to pull that out of you, because sometimes we're so in our head. We think, well, I know myself best. And to that, yes.
Sure.
But other people are there to pull those things out to remind you, I'm a new person.
Right.
I have to learn the new me, and that's okay.
Well, and that old person had like gotten me to a really great place.
Yeah.
So I was like, that person got me through a lot of, can I cuss?
You can.
A lot of shit.
Yeah.
And
You love her.
I love her.
faith
And like,
in- yep.
she's done a lot. So like, I didn't even know that
You needed to know new things.
Right.
We're not mad at the old Lindsay. We're just a new Lindsay.
Right.
Yes. And
It was so
that's
cool.
so beautiful. Obviously, I love that you just read the bios, because that shows the power of being vulnerable, and telling your story online does attract the right people.
That's a good,
yes.
yeah.
I
didn't even think about it in that way, but I'm like, oh,
how
that's
else
good.
some people think a bio is like telling me how educated you are, and that's cool. Like, obviously I can appreciate education, but sometimes there's a vulnerability that, you know, people get this gut feeling that they're like, I don't know what I need from you yet, and I don't know what we're going to talk about. I think I know based on my itinerary that I have listed. But there's a gut feeling that was pulling you towards that, which shaped you into who you needed to be.
Yes.
Oh,
I
love
know
that so much.
It's like, I love it so much.
Okay. So became clear.
Yes.
Clearer. You had clarity on what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
Then what?
And then I was super freaking scared.
Yeah. I was going to say, you're like, cool, I know everything. I know nothing. It's
Yes.
like humbling, exciting at the same time.
Yes. And I always felt a lot of, I felt a lot of safety working for someone else or even being a business partner. Like I was like, this feels safe. And so now the thought of being like, actually, no, you're going to do it all by yourself.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening?
I'm used to having a person.
Yes.
A sounding board. Someone that can say yes and someone that can say, what about this?
Right.
It was just you.
Yeah. So I was scared, but also knew that it was like,
This was it.
This was it. So, so yeah, I started, I'm such a fan of like finding the experts that you can trust. So, and that takes a minute because I'm very intuitive, very vibes. So I have to find the right people because I am like not quick to trust.
Okay.
So that means a lot of conversations have to happen for me to like find the right people. But basically I just started talking to people. Like I was like, okay, what do I need? I need a brand and a logo and like those sorts of things. I also need to start like looking into like, how do other coaches do this?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like I've done this within a business and within an industry, but never like this.
Well, it wasn't focused on this.
Right.
You know,
right.
your coaching and consulting and leading was kind of a byproduct of what you were doing.
Yes.
It wasn't the sole focus. And there are a lot of methods and a lot of CRMs and a lot of, you know, platforms to use and a lot of approaches. So overwhelmed, but finding the right expert is, I love that you said that because there are a lot of experts out there. We're in a city full of business owners. Yes. And every single one might consider them an expert. So it's finding you're the right expert for you.
Exactly.
Big deal.
And that's like what I feel like that has been a life lesson for me is like, I don't have to know it all. I can't know it all.
No, absolutely not.
And finding the people that I can trust and that are an expert in what they do.
Yeah.
And so, it just meant like having a lot of conversations and I mean, genuinely, I know I've talked about like the universe a lot, but like putting out to the universe, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Like
anybody you can send my way.
Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. And I genuinely believe in that. Like the law of attraction, the whole shebang. Like
absolutely.
If I'm putting out there what I'm seeking and with the right energy, then the right people show up. Right.
Yeah.
And so
you gotta put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Which is hella scary. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And you have to have the conversations. I love that you said you had to have a lot of conversations because it is easy to say, I'm going to get with this one group of people, a BNI. I've been in a BNI for several years. I'm going to get with this group of people and I'm safe. I'm just going to get to know them really well. And then that's it. That's all the conversation I have to have. And you start to get too comfortable and forget how many other experts are out there and they might be a better fit. Right. So talking about what you do, especially when you're new, is scary.
Right.
Talking with confidence and having that conversation multiple times.
Yes.
Constantly stretching.
Yes.
So this is what you were doing.
Yes. Yes. So I was just like sharing the skills that I knew I had and the value that I knew I could add, but also in the same conversation saying, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Like, I'm just going to keep it real. And then when people, the first question everyone asks you is like, well, who's your ideal client? And I was like, I don't know. Like,
you don't know yet.
I have no idea. Can you help me figure that out?
Yeah.
Because
how can you know until you start working with people?
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of really vulnerable, hard conversations. What's cool about conversations though, is I think if you're showing up like real and sharing like vulnerably, what also happened for me was talking these things out loud with other people allowed me to honestly kind of like navigate the journey too. Because I would say things out loud and then be like, oh, that's good. Or like, oh, I want to, right? And then other conversations, I'd be like, oh, that's a gap I need to figure out, right? Yeah. And so it was like its own discovery process.
Yeah. It's like when you, so it's funny, you write that down. My husband's a musician. So every time I say something just in conversation, like, you know what, sometimes babe, and then something, he'll be like, I'm putting that in a song. So it's funny. We're always writing that down.
I love that.
But when you talk to other people, I love that you said it fills the gaps. It shows you where the gaps are, because you might think, I have a business plan and I have a website and I have a sales call script that I don't even read. Like, I have it figured out. When someone asks you a question that you don't know how to answer, you're like, and we're going back to this.
Totally.
I don't have it figured out.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be a potential. Well, hopefully you're not finding that out on a sales call.
Right.
That's humbling.
Right.
That's happened like all the time to me. Well, what about this? And I'm like, I actually don't know that.
Right.
I need to work on that. But
that's
other people.
like vulnerable. And that to me is confidence, right? To be like, great question, right? Like,
yes,
it is so important. And that's the kind of person I want to work with.
Yeah.
I want to work with the kind of person that says that.
Ask me questions. And if you don't know, just say you don't know.
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
I don't need to work with someone that has every single answer.
Right.
I want to work with someone that feels confident enough to say, I don't know right now, but I'm going to find out.
Exactly.
So you were filling gaps, you were asking questions and showing up confidently, but humbly, it sounds.
Definitely.
And that's tough. That is a tough line to show up and say, I can do this thing, but I don't know everything.
Right.
Okay. So we're having lots of conversations.
Yes.
We don't know our ideal client.
Definitely not. No.
Because we haven't worked with anybody yet.
Right.
So how do you know what you like and don't like?
Right. I think the only thing that I knew was I knew small business. Like, I knew that was what I knew the best. Right. So small business or, entrepreneurs, I was like, okay, like that's a start. So that was the start of figuring it out.
This is where we can start and grow and maybe even get more specific. When I first started, I had come from construction accounting. So when I started, I was like, well, obviously I can work with construction.
Right.
Because that's something I know. Now, the client avatar can evolve with you.
Oh, definitely.
Do you find you start like every couple of months, you're like, I like this kind of client? Or do you feel like you solidified from the beginning?
No.
Absolutely
it's evolved
not.
So much.
Yeah.
It's evolved so much. And you just learn little extra things.
Yep.
Like that I'm like, oh, like I will be having a conversation with, for example, right now I have what I feel like are super aligned clients, which is awesome, right?
Love
like
that
that's
for
the
you.
goal when
Yes.
you start this.
It's amazing.
And then when I'm talking to them, I get like they might say things or we might have conversations that make me be like, this is common thread within my people, or like this is the common thread in the people that I feel most aligned with and they feel most aligned with me. And so I'm not kidding you. Like I will go to my car and speaking of like writing things down, you know what has happened to me?
What?
Over the past couple of years, I speak everything out loud now. So like I am totally like
Even alone?
Oh my gosh. In my car,
love it. Yeah.
In my car, I'm like, like I have hundreds of voice memos on my phone.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what happened, but it's like all of a sudden I just need to like say it out loud.
You got to get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll get in my car.
Love it.
And also it doesn't slow me down, right?
Yeah. You can keep going.
Right. So I get in my car, I pull up voice memo and I'm like, oh my gosh, we were just talking about da-da-da-da-da. And it made me realize that these are the clients that like me the most.
Yeah.
And this is what is like cool about them. And so I have all these notes that I've built of like, these are the types of people that respond to me the most or that we go the deepest. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I literally just did that a couple weeks ago. So I feel like it's constantly evolving.
Yeah. You're thinking about what has worked and what didn't work, who you like working with. And even if you thought, I love working with this type of business, it can change. As our accounting firm has gotten bigger, we have realized what clients don't love a big firm. And that changed from when it was just me.
Sure.
When it was just me, the clients that could call me, text me, get me any time of the day when I was a yes, I was a yes man. Those don't work anymore because it's not just me. So yes, it changes, it evolves. I love that you do voice memos because it still sounds like 5 years ago, you realize I needed to talk to someone. I needed to get my words out and you still practice that.
Isn't that such a
Yes.
like
You have to get them out. Like, what are you
Yes.
talking about? What are you thinking
I
about?
didn't connect that to 5 years ago. I connected it to the past like few years of me being like, I don't know, I just feel it.
Yeah.
But you saying that is like such a good thread.
Yes.
I love that.
You are working with people that need similar things as you. They need to talk to someone. You need to talk to someone.
Right.
So it's no surprise that you feel like your clients are super aligned
Right.
with you.
Right.
So what are your clients like now?
Oh boy. Okay. So I work across all industries. So, and that was something I knew that was important to me.
Okay.
It was one of those things to where like, I loved the hair industry so much, but I had felt like I had served that industry already.
Okay.
Like that journey was complete.
Yeah.
I
Done.
totally am open to working with people in the beauty industry, but I knew that wasn't my sole space.
That wasn't it. That wasn't the
Right.
only.
Right. So, so across all industry, and it's funny you say construction. I literally have had a construction company client at the same time as I had a spa. Like it's like
There's more similarities than people would realize.
Yes,
Okay. Let me just say that.
Yes. And the work that I do is so centered around the people, the people that work there. Yeah. And so because of that, like humans are humans.
Yeah.
No matter what industry they work in.
What they're doing.
Right? Like we all have a mind and a body and emotions and all these things that affect us. And so it does not matter what industry we work in.
Yeah. I love that.
And that's where I figured out that I can like.
You can go to different industries. It's okay.
Yes.
Nothing's
because it's about the people.
going to happen.
Yes. So still my clients tend to be in small business. So I feel like I kind of have like two pathways for my clients. The most clients I work with that occupy the most of my time are small businesses, and I work with several people within the business. Oh. So it's not that I just work with the business owner.
Okay.
Very often people come to me. The business owners are the ones that come to me, right?
Of course.
However,
they're the visionaries. They're like,
right.
I see this thing.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And however, what they realize is that their team could use some coaching too. And some business owners want to feel as equipped as possible to do that on their own, but they also know that they're not ready for it yet. So instead of, hey, let me get all the coaching and then I'll take it back to my team, they're like, wait, you can coach me and at the same time be helping my team.
Love that.
And I'm like, oh yeah, like that's what I would love to do. Like
that's what I want to do.
Right.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm doing. So most of my business clients, I'm working with multiple people within the team. That looks different depending upon the needs. So for me, it's all about like customizing my coaching. And like, I don't do any like, here's my framework and we have to put that in. And I don't do nothing. It's all like, I have all these lived experiences and I have all these things that I know work, and I'm going to get to know you and we're going to figure out what works for you and your business. And that's so important to me. So that's like,
that's shocking.
Very much alignment with my.
That's different than every coach I've ever talked to.
So I didn't know that at first.
Oh, sorry. I mean, you're like everybody else.
No, I didn't know it at first.
Okay.
And then when I discovered it, actually speaking of like your own journey, it was like, am I doing it wrong? Like, I mean, it's natural to think that way, right?
When
like,
you're the one doing it different than everybody else, you're like, okay, am I trying to be special or am I wrong?
Right. And then I laughed at myself because I was like, no, Lindsay, sounds like kind of how you do everything. Yeah. And I was like,
very on brand.
Right. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
So the second I said I do that, and the second I said I'm going to do like as much in-person work as possible, everybody was like, what? Like,
okay.
And I'm like, I don't know. That's what I know. Like, that's what I know I will learn from. That's how I can be best for you.
Okay.
And I'm laughing because it ties all the way back for me when people would bring in like hair articles and be like, they wrote this to do, and it said if I do these steps and use these products, my hair will look like that.
You're like, okay.
And I'm like,
but you're a different person.
I'm calling BS right here. Because how can all the people in the world use that same article and get that same result when they all have different hair, right?
It's never gonna happen.
So that's like a core thing for me.
It's the same as what you're doing now.
Right.
The same steps are not going to work for everybody.
Right. And so that's where that ties back to.
Yeah.
So anyway, completely customize everything. However, what I have learned is the common theme within my clients, other than small business and working mostly in person, is they ultimately, number one priority, have to be willing to grow. Like, I will not be in a space where I can't make impact.
Yeah.
And even if that's slow, I'm okay with slow impact because sometimes that's what's needed.
Yeah.
However, I think sometimes people want the result, but they're not willing to grow to get there, or they think they are until we start doing it, right? And one thing about me is I am super compassionate to the fact that we are all very different people. However, I'm also extremely direct.
You have to be.
And if I don't see that they're willing to grow, we have those conversations.
Yeah.
Like,
what are we doing?
You could write me a check for the next 5 years, but if you're not willing to grow, I'm not going to be here.
It's wasting your time.
Right.
Like money doesn't matter when it's wasting your time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they have to be willing to grow.
What are some signs that they're not? Because it's so funny working in the financial space.
Yes.
I can tell within the first, so we do a 15-minute consult, like a free 15-minute consult. And I do that intentionally because the longer it is, the more people want to tell me about like their cats and like their kid that plays soccer. Love that. Like we'll get there.
Yes.
But like you have 15 minutes
That
to tell
doesn't
me.
contribute to your accounting. What do you know?
Yeah. Like, shocking. We can talk about your cats later, but if you can't describe me your problem in 15 minutes, I can't strongly think that we can help you.
Yeah.
Because that means it's going to need multiple consults. You have multiple issues. It's a root problem.
I love that you've discovered that.
Yes. Well, we started with an hour. So I've learned about a lot of cats.
But you're evolving. You're evolving.
We're evolving.
Yes.
And within that 15 minutes, if people say things like, I'm not going to get this all out in 15 minutes, or I need it to be done the way that I've always done it, or things like that, I immediately, something in my brain says, I'm actually going to teach you how to keep doing it yourself because I don't think we're a good fit. And I can tell that right away. Now, sometimes it's not as obvious. And we learn down the road, like, why are they still using their personal bank account? That comes later.
Sure.
So, but with you, what are some things that you can just know they can see the vision, but they don't want to change?
Yes. Also, I think dependent upon situations. However, in the very beginning, when I start talking about like my approach, right? And I start talking about getting to know people and, you know, the fact that we're all humans and like the more
normal
that
stuff.
Yeah.
I love that.
The more that I can approach people from that way and get to know them and build trust with them, the more impactful that I'm going to be. When people are resistant to that and when they are like, I have had people, it's very rare because I think I do attract the people that are like, more my vibe.
Yeah, these are rare things.
But some things that I've heard, like, well, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, they can think whatever they want, but I'm the business owner, so they have to do what I say. Okay. Well, and if you would like to do a lot of coaching, we can work on that. But if that's how you genuinely feel,
right,
we're probably not going to work together.
It's not going to happen for you.
Yeah. I'm like, never had that thought in my whole life when I owned a business. So like, okay, you're not my people.
Yeah.
So like if they can't look at people as like humans and have any compassion or be open to that, I already know.
You already know.
It's not it.
Gotcha.
And then as time, as like conversations evolve, if I start, strategically talking to them about like their approaches or like their own growth, because most of the time people come to me and they're like, here's the gap in my team or here's the gap in my business. Most people don't come in and say, here's my gaps.
It's me.
Right?
I'm
Like people just usually don't do that. If they do, they're really my people. I'm like, we're going to dig in. I love this.
Very self-aware.
Yes. However, when I do start to shift to asking more questions about them or their approaches and things like that, if they are always pushing it back to the team or always putting fault elsewhere, that's usually a good sign too, that they aren't willing to grow.
Yeah.
Now I will challenge it. Like I will say things like, but what if I said, you need to do this,
Yeah.
And so sometimes their habit is to push it back on the team, and I'm able to like dig through that.
Sure, break through that.
But if we start to dig through that and they just are not going to look in the mirror, then I'm like, I can only do so much for your team. Well, and I'm willing to do all this for your team, but honestly, it's not right for me to evolve your team and grow your team and put all these great things into place when you are going to continue to lead it horribly. Like,
well, you're going to break everything that we just built.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that's worse for your team.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh,
yeah.
And usually they're the ones coming to you, which is so interesting. They want things to change, but they're sometimes unwilling to start here.
Yes.
Because it's scary as an owner to say, I don't have it all together. I am not 100% sure that I'm doing the right thing all the time.
Right.
It feels like a weak link, and you don't want to admit you're the weak link, that you built this intentionally or unintentionally phenomenal team, but you're the one that maybe is holding something back.
Right. Right. So that ends up being like really my favorite work to do is to be like, let's dig in and let's like empower you to own your gaps and get better at them or find the people to fill them. Right. Because I think that's also an option. Right.
Sure.
So like if you don't have to grow in every way. Let's really focus on the ways that are like aligned for you.
Yeah.
And then if there's still gaps, then we find other people to fill the gaps. That's the benefit of having a team.
Right.
Is you don't have to be good at everything.
You don't have to do it all.
Yeah. We need to discover that.
Yeah.
We need to discover what you aren't good at, because then we know how to develop other people or what people to put in what seat for you.
It's okay to not be good at everything.
Right.
And it's okay to say, this was my problem in the beginning. I've worked with a coach since I started business.
Good for you.
Yeah. I just I knew. But one thing I would say is I'm scared to hire because they can't do it as good as me. Like I'm the only one that can do it like this. And gap, obviously.
Yes.
And then I developed a team that does it better than me. So then there's this feeling of, am I the problem? Right. So working with people that can be very self-aware and be willing to work on it.
Right.
Those are your people.
Right.
And the problems, the gaps that you speak of, I am sure they are incredibly different. Like everybody is different.
Yes.
But you mentioned some common threads.
Sure.
What are some commonalities of the problems or the gaps that people think, I need to bring Lindsay in?
Sure.
How would they know?
I think that there's a difference between like why they think they need to bring me in and then what we really
course.
discover, right?
Yeah.
But the things that people usually think. Most people that I work with, so I am open to working with someone who's building or developing or that's struggling. But I think that that's the common thought is like, oh, I'm struggling, so I need to hire a coach. Or that's what people think of. Like when I've told someone like, or someone said, hey, I saw you're working with this client. I thought they were doing really well. Oh. And I was like, they are. And that's why they hired me. Like, because they're smart, you know?
Yeah.
And so I am willing to work with those people. But what I have found is a common thread with my clients are they've had some level of success.
Okay.
Whether it be they're like just really good at the service that they perform and also I do work with a lot of businesses who are service performing in so many different ways.
Okay.
But they provide some sort of service.
Yeah.
And generally they're really good at that. Yeah. And they have some success with it. Like they already have a little bit of an established situation. But what they notice is that, oh, we're really good at this and this is working. Oh, and I feel like we got kind of lucky getting here. So I'm not sure we're prepared for what's next. And so they just get that feeling of like, we've been riding the wave and now we're like,
interesting.
What now?
Yeah.
Right? Like, and so again, a little bit more like self-aware people because they see that, right?
Right. And they can look ahead a little bit.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes. So those sorts of people that know that they have some really awesome people on their team, but they're not sure how to develop them into leaders or like internal managers.
Yeah.
Right. So that's been something that's come up. Like, okay, I have been great at like teaching people how to provide the service or do whatever their role is.
Right. Yeah.
However, there are people on my team that they want to see growth and they want to see more of a career path.
Yeah.
And not sure how to do that.
How do I get there?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's partially what do I give them to do? What can I take off to delegate to them? And then in that same way, how do I then lead a leader? Because leading a leader is much different than leading a team member.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's really common, which I love also, right? Like you want to empower your people and you're
course.
like, how do I best do that?
How do I do it? I can
Yes.
tell them they're great. Like I can tell them they're great every day.
Yes.
You're so good.
Right.
Everything you do is great and sparkly. But that's not developing a leader. That's not the transition from team member to manager is bigger than people give credit for.
Yes.
So yeah, I love that. Okay.
Yes.
And that's probably common with small businesses that are established that maybe the owner started. I refer back to myself because I can only speak on my own personal journey.
Sure.
When I started, it was just me. I hired my best friend as my CFO. And then we just started like bringing our family and friends in. We were like, sister here, you have a sister here.
There's someone in my space that can fill this role. Yeah.
Like you're my sister and you're smart. And so you can come work with us. And our entire team of 10 is family and friends as myself, CFO at the top. Now we're almost 5 years in as well. And it's team members, best friend and myself. So there is this like, exactly what you're describing is how do we empower team to want more, to be educated enough to rise and for us to trust them and lead them.
Right.
So I think that's more common
Yes.
than people give credit for. When you hire family and friends, when you hire a contractor that turns into an employee and this employee is crushing it, and you can probably, I make all my little, I'm a gift giver. So I make like little boo baskets and Mother's Day gifts. Yes. Because I'm like, you're the best. But that's different than giving them a platform to rise and manage.
Exactly.
So I love that you come in and you are in person.
Right.
You want to be in person.
I do. I love it so much.
And you're guiding this journey. Okay.
Yes.
And
that does look different for everyone, right?
Sure.
But yeah, just having, oh my gosh, actually this phrase is so good right now. Okay. So I've said a version of this for years. However, I joined a mastermind recently, which is
fun,
mind-blowing. So amazing. Anyway,
I love masterminds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My first one.
Okay.
I feel like my old career was a little bit of like a mastermind in itself. Like we were all very common ground.
Yeah.
So now I'm like learning from all these people in so many other spaces. It's so cool.
Love it.
Anyway, someone in the mastermind said, when someone was explaining this concept, she said, yeah, I mean, you can't read the label from inside the bottle. And I was like, exactly. I did write that down, by the way.
Dear Lindsay.
I wrote that down. And I was like, it's like the perfect description, right?
I love that.
So I have a different perspective than everyone that's inside the bottle, right? So I can see it. And I also, it's just a me thing that I tend to see things from all sides. Like it's just, I've always been that way. I kind of live that way. And pros and cons to that. But in my work, it's really helpful because I'm able to hear someone and also say, I think that we need to consider the other sides here, right? Like you're not right and you're not wrong, but there's more to it. And so that helps really develop those, like, where are these people going to be able to develop and are they in the right spot?
Right.
And then also, how does it feel? Because it's different for everybody. And that's what I love about leadership is that, like, you should develop and lead your team according to the people on your team. Like, it's not about, like, yes, you should have your core values, right? However, it's all about learning your people and what works best for them.
Yeah.
And the combo of that, the combo of like who you are authentically and your core values, along with like, what does this person need from me? Because the 3 leaders that you might be trying to develop might be totally different.
Yeah.
And that's important to care about.
Yeah.
And then also navigate.
And that's easier said than done.
It is. Yes.
Humans are so complex.
Yes.
And myself and our CFO, it's funny. So because we work with family and friends, they're brutally honest when we fuck up.
I love that.
They're the first ones. My youngest sister works for me, and when we're on team meetings, she'll text me and be like, your hair's on the wrong side of your head. So humbling. And it's like a video, and so I'm like, like she'll tell me exactly. Yeah. Which is also, I love that. But
yes.
CFO and I are night and day. We are mom and dad. I am rainbows and butterflies, and she is is your bed made,
Yeah.
and it works. But as we are growing as a company, there is more of a need for us to have a unified front as we are the same leader, and we can lift up our team in a different way. So I love that you said every leader is different, because her and I are the prime example. So you're coming in and making sure, number one, that the owner is very self-aware of what they need to work on, because it does start there. It really does. An owner can make or break the company just based on how they lead.
Yeah.
And you're coming in to break that down and see where the gaps are, bring their team up if that's the goal, and maneuver through all the nuances of how do we keep growing? How do we stay on the same page? Are our core values, still aligned? And you are just weaving in and out of all that.
Yeah.
Is that exhausting? Or
Not
is it
for
invigorating?
me. It's invigorating. Yeah. I am like, that's what enlivens me. Is to see that and to think through that. And I don't know. It's just something that I'm not kidding you. I could be in a little funky funk, my own funk.
Yeah.
And when I arrive in a space, that's where I come alive. That's where, or if I have one conversation, I'm like, I just am obsessed with humans, honestly, and how we all work and how it's just, I don't know what it is. It's like a thing.
I love that.
So yeah, it's super invigorating for me.
Okay.
And of course I have my moments of being like, it's really challenging, or me being like, ooh, okay, how do I navigate this? There's challenges for sure. But it always feels exciting and energizing. And that's for me how I know I'm doing the right thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
I think that is so needed. I had Holly Hartman on little bit ago.
Holly
Yes.
So much.
Queen herself. And she had mentioned a statistic of in 2023 that Louisville was on the map for the most women-owned businesses in a city.
Wow.
I know. I was so shocked.
That's incredible.
It's like you don't know those things when you're in the city, you're moving around. You just feel like there's so many women-owned businesses here.
Right.
But you don't actually know. You just feel it. And when she said that, I thought, love that, obviously. Women should run the world. But there is a need for what you do, because this is not, women haven't always run businesses. This is a newer situation in this world. And having a person, I feel more comfortable speaking to another woman about things like this. So you have a place in Louisville for all of these women-owned businesses to make sure they're all communicating and they're all cohesive and they're growing in a healthy way. So how do people work with you? Do they do a consult? Do they do a crying session? I actually love crying.
Same. But wait, are you serious?
Dead ass serious.
Okay, so I used to hate it, and a huge part of my self-growth was discovering that it is not a weakness.
Yeah.
And I love it so much.
Okay, you're the only person that's ever been
Same.
Me too.
That's why I was like,
yes.
because most people are like,
love
I'm
it so
sorry for
much.
crying. I'm going to try not to cry. Like those are the statements I hear all the time. And I'm like,
Let it all out.
We are
No.
human.
Yeah.
And I promise you, if your body wants to do that, it's for a reason.
Yeah. And I'm going to cry with you because I'm also a sympathetic crier. Because I like crying.
Oh my gosh, no one has ever said that. Okay.
Okay. So we're kindred spirits from the crying world. Because when people cry, I'm like, you needed that. Your body does not get rid of stuff that it needs when it's healthy. It's like getting it out.
Yes.
As a very angsty teenager, I would put eyeliner on the bottom, like the waterline. Like, how controversial, right? And then I would watch myself cry. And I would watch it in the mirror. And I had one of those like long standing mirrors, and I'd put it like at the door, and I would sit like crisscross applesauce in front of it and just watch myself cry. I think I had a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
But I was like this, I think as a teenager felt like this is the most beautiful thing I can do for myself.
Good for you.
Who was I?
Good for you.
I still do like
that. Took me a lot longer to figure out. So I'm like, good for you.
It just took a couple of like Avril Lavigne songs, a couple of Pink songs. There was a Pink song that really about the president. It just like constantly put me in tears. So we need more criers and people that allow space for that, because it's not a sign of weakness. If people want to work with you, crying session, not necessity,
not opposed,
but it's also, it can be there. What does that look like? What's the first step?
Sure. So the first step, I want to make sure we're aligned, right? Like I don't want anyone to have me in their space if I'm not what they need. Sure. And I don't want to be in their space if they're not a fit for me, right? We've talked about that. So first step is we just have a conversation. Okay. And I like to do that in person, of course.
Yes.
So we just have a conversation. We have a conversation about like, where are you? What's going on in like your life, your business? Because again, we are humans. It all exists. Yeah. And then and you can ask me a million questions and dig into me. Like we just have a conversation. A really open, as real and authentic as possible conversation. Yeah. And then what I say is, I will say we talked more about the businesses. I do have some clients who are leaders within bigger businesses.
Okay, just business professionals.
Yeah. So, and maybe it's like not a business that's maybe going to hire me to work there. However, they know they want to grow and they want to have someone holding them accountable. And they maybe don't have that in their business.
Sure.
And so
or in their life.
Exactly.
Because we talked about having a support group.
Exactly.
And you might be the one that people lean on. So if you are that person, if you're the eldest daughter, if you are the oldest child in your family.
Right.
If you maybe you make more money than your husband.
Right.
I'm just throwing that out there. If you are the friend that everyone calls for help.
Exactly.
Lindsay can come in and be that person for you.
Exactly.
Love that. Okay.
Yes. So that is kind of the other
side of it.
Frame of my clientele, right? So I say this because those people, we're just going to have a couple conversations. We're going to have a couple conversations and be like, does this feel good? Because we're going to dig usually. And those people like to dig in, right? Like they like to, even if it feels scary for them, they know they need it. Okay. And so that is part of like that client avatar. I know that for sure. And I'm a space for all of it. So those people, we're going to have some conversations and then we're going to say, okay, how often do we want to see each other? Are we like really focused on something specific here? Or are we like, let's like meet and we'll discover what we're going to focus on. And then we discover how often we're going to meet and how long we're going to meet for. And it's pretty clear and simple.
Okay. Love that.
The business clients that I work with the most of the time. Yeah. So once we have that initial conversation, I say, can I come into your business and simply observe? You can tell people I'm there for whatever reason you want. I don't care. Like, I don't care what you tell them. Because some people are like, can I not tell them who you are? Because they're afraid they're going to like be on their best behavior. And I'm like, I don't care. Tell them anything. I don't care.
We're filming a documentary.
And so can I just come in and watch this happen? Yeah. Because there's so much to see. When you see people interact with each other, when you see people interact with clients, when you see the systems in action, you learn so much. Or like, do you have meetings? Let me observe a meeting. Because what is said or isn't said, or who dominates the meeting and who doesn't, like all of those real life things tell me a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
And if I don't necessarily have it all figured out, but I know who I need to talk to and I know what questions I need to ask, right? So I'm like, let me come and observe your business. And this is non-committal. Like, again, we're just going to another level of discovery.
Okay.
Then after that, then I say, okay, here's what I've gathered. Here's what I've learned. And here's where I think we start. And you know what? Let's work together for a couple months to start with.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because what I want to do is when I'm in it and I get to talk to your people and I get to learn more about them and I get to see them not on their best behavior.
Yeah.
Then I will have an even better, clear picture of what we actually need to work on. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
When people are their true selves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I say, let's start a couple months of me coming in regularly, and we set up what that looks like. You and I meeting regularly, and I'm still going to be giving you information, right? Like I'm still going to be telling you what gaps I see. I'm going to be talking to team members with their approval. Like all this is always like, what are you comfortable with and what are you not? And like, and we have those conversations. So setting up what boundaries they feel good about. Also me not like interrupting their workday and what they're trying to do.
Let's
right.
have a crying session at noon.
Yeah. And also I used to own a business, so I know like you have to navigate that accordingly. So yeah, we set up the parameters. And then I spend some time in their business according to those, getting to know people, witnessing things as they're happening, and having conversations with them. So we start a version of coaching. But then what's really cool is after those couple months, I know them so much better. And they also trust me so much more.
Yeah.
And so then we have a conversation about, okay, here's what I've discovered over these past couple months. You've also had the benefit to like learn from me, feel out my coaching a little bit, get your team's feedback on me being there. Okay. And then we set up a more long-term action plan.
So this is a long game.
It is.
I love it though.
Because people don't change overnight.
No.
No.
I mean,
and that's the difference in working
internally
with people than just putting in a system. I'm super systematic. A system needs to exist.
Yeah. However,
like one of the number one things that like psychology has proven is that habits are really hard to change, right? Habits are really hard to change.
Yeah.
So I can tell you what the system is in those 2 months, but the people are going to execute the system.
Right.
And we're also really good at doing something when it's new. Yeah. So like, okay, I'm going to do it because it's new and exciting and shiny. And then in a couple months,
I'm done.
What's happening?
It's not exciting
Who's
anymore.
holding it accountable?
Yeah.
Who's working with the person to tell them that they're not doing it anymore?
Sustainability.
Right? Like,
yes.
So that's why it does need to be a long game because people take time. And those shifts take time. And also what I've discovered is most people, even when we set up a time frame for that like longer term action plan, as we start growing and developing, they're like, ooh, I want more. And like, then we find more things and we keep growing and we keep developing and it's super cool. Yeah. I've also had people like, we set the action plan and we like do it. And then they're like, okay, let me do this for like 6 months. And then I want to come in and like focus on something else. Right. And then so we can also do,
so it can pivot.
Yeah. Okay. So again, it's all what like works for them.
I love it. Very
and as long as it's
customizable.
within like, alignment for me.
Perfect. And it's very customizable. There's no one size fits all.
Yes.
And you're an in-person person. So if people want to start it, they just go to a website.
Honestly, right now, the best space is my Instagram is where I am like showing up. I'm putting myself in front of a camera and I am like, and it feels very real for me to be able to post that all the time versus like edit,
spread it across all these platforms.
Yes.
And,
So Instagram is my space because right now I'm actually working with someone to build out like my version of me website now. Right. Because I feel like I now know what my aligned clients are.
Yeah. You had to wait until you were ready.
Exactly. So that's in process.
Okay.
For now, go to Instagram. And obviously you can email me.
Yeah.
Reach out to me in any way. But if you want to see more of like what I'm about or the stories of what I do with people, Instagram is actually where it's very real, very live. And I'm like constantly sharing things that I'm discovering or the clients that I'm working with.
I love that so much that you said one place because I have had multiple conversations with people If you give them too many places to go, they go nowhere.
Yes. Yes.
So Instagram is where you're showing up. We'll
Yes.
put your handle in the show notes for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I believe that we survived an hour. I'm guessing. My gut tells me we're close. But thank you so much for coming out and sharing.
Thank you. I loved learning more things about you today too.
Yeah. We can cry about it later together.
Anytime.
I'll just cry on the way home for fun. So we are done. When I was with Holly for her episode, we did like a dance off, but then it didn't like turn out well edit wise, because when we stand up, the cameras come like right here, and that wasn't cute.
That's not cute.
Yes. So I spoke to an Instagram coach, and she was the one that was like, don't say all those handles and all those, just say one. And we did like like some shoulders.
Yeah.
So that's how we'll like end it.
Okay.
I'm not rhythmic in general.
I feel like I'm like,
I feel like your hair gives you space to be rhythmic.
I'm like middle ground, right? Like I'm like middle ground. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you have cool swag.
Someone taught this last week on a thing. I'm not saying this is what we should do, but this is what it made me think of.
Okay.
Because we were on a virtual call, and again, you couldn't stand up.
Yeah.
And so she was like, you know what I teach people to do? Wag their tail. Wag their tail.
So cute.
And literally everybody started like smiling and wagging their tail.
So cute.
And I was like, and she's like, you can't not smile. And you also, what happens, she said, is you automatically sit up straight. Because you don't,
your tail.
You can't wag your tail like this, right? So you automatically are
that.
like, and we were all on the Zoom call like,
mission accomplished.
It was so funny.
Immediately.
Yeah, it reminded me of that. I'm like, you can also wag your tail.
Wag your tail.
If I could do it all over again, there'd be no wish I would, should have been. Spend more time with my family and friends. If I could do it all over again, I'd wake up early and start